There is a financial movie running behind the scenes of your life. A silent picture, a black and white system that's been hidden from plain sight, developed by some of the world's wealthiest families that you were never meant to uncover. In fact, most people are turned away from ever discovering it in their lifetime. But once you see it, and you really see it, you will never look at money the same way again. Today, we expose a massive truth. There are two completely different financial games being played here in America. We have the Paycheck game versus the Legacy game. Two completely different sets of rules with two completely different outcomes. And today, we are going to unveil an inside clip from the Legacy Playbook that almost no one is talking about. It's a system hidden from plain sight, but buried beneath the tax codes that is being leveraged by CEOs and the world's wealthiest families and banks and corporations, and it's how the wealthy get rich and stay rich forever. But almost never used by everyday Americans because no one told you it existed, because no one benefits if you learn how to play. Today, we are talking about the borrow against your asset strategy, but not with real estate, not with stocks, not with multi-million-dollar equity positions or multi-billion-dollar businesses. We are talking about something infinitely more accessible by everyday Americans, that is private, that is protected, and that is tax advantaged by design. This tax-free wealth machine hides behind one of the most misunderstood financial products in the game today. And when I tell you what it is, you'll think I'm crazy until I show you who and what has been using it for decades. And when you combine this unique asset with one twist in the US tax code, you unlock what I call the zero wealth tax loop, a system that allows your money to grow untouched, compound interest earned uninterrupted, and accessible without triggering taxes. Okay, let's cut straight to it. How do the rich get rich and stay rich? I'll tell you what they don't do. Wealthy people don't get rich by selling assets. Selling assets triggers taxes and it resets compound interest. Instead, wealthy people borrow against their assets so their assets can keep compounding in the background while they spend tax-free money today. Why? Because borrowed money isn't considered income, it's considered debt. Therefore, the IRS can't tax it. They do this with real estate, with businesses, and with stock portfolios. But here's what almost no one is telling you. For the average American, the average entrepreneur, the high income earner on a W-2 that doesn't have a massive stock portfolio, for the nurse, for the teacher, for the tech worker, for the real estate agent, and for the entrepreneur that wants liquidity and control. The most accessible asset that you can borrow against isn't real estate. It isn't a stock portfolio and it isn't a business. It is a properly structured cash value insurance contract. Let me show you why. Now imagine you open up an insurance contract. I'm a big fan of IULs that are structured correctly, no fluff, designed for maximum accumulation and minimum insurance cost. Every dollar that you contribute in excess of the cost to own the contract immediately starts building your asset. An asset that grows accessible tax-free, that cannot lose money due to the stock market crashing, and an asset that you can access at any stage of your life through tax-free loans. This is where the mindset shift happens, because most Americans would think, okay, so I contribute money into this insurance policy and then it grows and then I just withdraw it. And that right there is the employee's mindset. Withdrawing equals taxes. Withdrawing equals interrupted compound interest. And withdrawing ultimately breaks the wealth machine. Wealthy people do not withdraw their money. They borrow it because borrowed money is not considered income. Therefore, it can't be taxed. Stick with me. Let's say you've been funding your IUL for several years and you've built up $150,000 in cash value. Here's where most people go wrong. They think, I'll just take the money out, simply withdraw it. But the wealthy know better. Instead of withdrawing it, you borrow against it. Because here's the crucial point. Your money stays inside the contract, continuing to grow and earn interest, even on the dollars that you borrowed out. This is the part that no one expects. While you use the borrowed money for down payments, business investments, paying off debt, or purchasing real estate, funding retirement, paying for your kids' college, your living expenses, or simply opportunity capital. All the while your cash value continues growing and compounding behind the scenes in the background, as if it was never touched. And the wealthy call this uninterrupted compound interest. 3 words most middle-class Americans will never hear. Now the secret is, your policy becomes your own personal bank, your own personal line of credit, your own personal financing system. Now it's important to note that this isn't free. You will get charged an interest rate to do this because in order for a loan to be considered a loan, interest must be charged. So let's say you get charged 5% interest to do this, but your contract pays you 10%. 10% minus 5% means you earned 5% interest on money that wasn't yours in the first place, or what we call other people's money. And unlike a mortgage or a HELOC or a stock portfolio that can tank 40% overnight, your IUL's cash value cannot go backwards due to the stock market. It is contractually protected against losses, therefore it can only move forward. Banks do this, CEOs do this, so why not you? Ever wonder why CEOs only take a $1 salary? That's because the majority of their wealth sits in appreciating assets, which is their stock. And in order to get access to that money, they simply borrow against it to get access to money tax-free. Ever notice the billions of dollars that banks own in cash value insurance contracts? Just simply Google BOLI, bank-owned life insurance, and hundreds of banks will pop up that are doing this too. And banks do this for one main reason, because owning insurance contracts provides the utmost in safety, stability, and growth. And the FDIC classifies it as Tier 1 capital, which is some of the safest capital a bank can own. So if banks can do this, and Fortune 500 CEOs can do this, and some of the world's wealthiest families like the Rockefellers have done this from generation to generation, why aren't you doing it too? Because no one told you it exists. Because they know if they did tell you, middle-class Americans are programmed to block their own blessings by thinking, this sounds too good to be true, while the wealthy elite continue to get richer and pay less taxes. Here's how wealthy families use this system. Fund the insurance contract aggressively in early years, let the cash value compound tax deferred, borrow against it to fund their lifestyle, their investments, and their retirement, never withdraw it, never sell it, and never cancel it. And when they pass away, the remaining cash value and death benefit will pay off any outstanding loan balances, and the remaining death benefit will transfer to their beneficiaries, all tax-free. And because the death benefit is received tax-free under IRS Code 101A, their heirs owe nothing. And this is where the secret gem to this plan is revealed, which is estate planning. Typically, wealthy families would never list a person as the beneficiary to these contracts. They would list a trust, and the trust would have trustees named that are instructed to open up additional insurance contracts on all living and surviving heirs, with the trust being the named beneficiary to those contracts. This is how the tax-free wealth loop continues, and the families continue to keep the system alive from generation to generation. Let me map it out for you. You fund a cash value insurance contract. Cash value grows tax deferred. The growth increases your borrowing power. Borrowed money is accessed tax-free. The borrowed money funds the purchase of additional assets. The assets create more income. The income backfills borrowed money, and your cash value continues to compound. Then rinse and repeat. That is your loop. If this strategy is new to you, remember the system was never designed for employees taking a paycheck. It was always designed and meant for wealthy elite individuals that are concerned about leaving a legacy. For those of you that have been following along, remember, selling triggers taxes. Taxes destroys compound interest, but borrowing your money accelerates compound interest tax-free. Cash value insurance is the people's version of what billionaires do with stock, of what banks do with BOLI, and of what real estate investors do with equity, but with 3 main differences. You don't need millions to get started, you don't need to have the perfect timing, and you don't need to worry about risking 40% in the next stock market crash. All you need is access to the playbook, which I just gave you today. If you would like to see if the borrow against your assets strategy could work for you, you're welcome to connect with me or my team by clicking the link in my bio or in the description below of this video. If you'd like to learn more about how this strategy works and the products that we use, I've linked 2 videos here that can walk you through it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another dynamic video teaching you what the wealthy elite do with their money, and I will see you back here next week on YouTube.